So welcome to News Move Chat Prep. Today we have with us Dr. Sangeeta Datta, consultant psychiatrist, and Dr. Walilul Islam, gastrointestinal and advanced laparoscopic specialist surgeon. So welcome to our show, News Move Chat Prep, sir, ma'am.
Thanks for inviting us. Thanks for having us in the show. We feel privileged and honored. Thanks so much.
Okay, so as everyone knows, you have been many years in this profession. So we'll directly go to a question which is related to your profession. So, Dr. Sangeeta, so as you both are in medical profession, also Dr. Wali, so what do you think, Sangeeta ma'am, that being a psychiatrist in Assam, how do you deal with women and, regarding their illness, woman illness, like they suffer from menopause or such kind of things. So what do you think about it?
Well, I mean, women in general, they are more vulnerable, to have a few psychiatric disorders. And the reason is hormonal, primarily. So even when we talk
Mm-hmm.
about women in the West or women in India or women in Assam, it's mostly hormonal and biological reasons. But again, when we talk about Assam or India, we also have to take into account the social context. Therefore, when we talk about, first, let's talk about hormones. Women have two hormones in their body. One is
Mm-hmm.
estrogen and the other is progesterone. Estrogen protects us from depression. It also protects us from dementia. However, progesterone is called depression and anxiety. Now, what happens during the reproductive cycle of a woman, which starts with puberty and ends in menopause? The woman goes through a lot of hormonal changes, and there is a change in the balance between estrogen and progesterone. Now, what happens? That's why we see a lot of mood disorders and psychiatric problems in women, and they're far higher. In fact, 2 times or 4 times higher. Certain depression is 4 times higher as compared to males. And you must also be aware of one thing, Rishti, that just before menses, some women have mood swings. They get very irritable. It's called premenstrual syndrome, PMS. That is also
Yes.
hormonal. Women during pregnancy and following childbirth, they also get
Okay, so we are having some connection problem with the site. So we'll try to add them up again. So if you have any questions for them, Dr. Sangeeta Datta and also Dr. Walilul Islam, you can put them up in the comment box. We'll be asking them, mentioning your name. So we'll have Sangeeta Datta and
us.
Walilul Islam again.
Yes. There's
Yes,
something
ma'am.
wrong with the network in between. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's okay.
yes. So, women, when they during pregnancy or following childbirth, also go through hormonal imbalance. And that is the reason why during pregnancy and following childbirth, there is increased incidence of anxiety, depression, mood swings, etc. And
Mhm.
during menopause or just before menopause, we come across something we call a perimenopausal syndrome. And then following menopause, we have a postmenopausal syndrome. So the
Okay.
symptoms are, of course, all of us know, like, disturbed sleep, mood
Hmm.
swings, and feeling of, hot sensation in their bodies, feeling
Hmm.
of tiredness, etc. What is necessary to be understood is that most women fortunately cope with this hormonal changes very well, but some of them require help from a mental health professional, maybe a counselor or from a psychiatrist. But again, we
Mm-hmm.
cannot forget the social aspects. In a patriarchal society like ours, women also have different roles to play. And in today's world, we see a woman juggling between her professional work and her personal life. And sometimes she's stressed out. Sometimes there is a lot of, within the four walls of the house, you never know. Even in Assam, I have come across cases where women talk about domestic violence. Women talk about
Hmm.
emotional
Very
abuse,
true.
physical abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse these days. So some of the women try to tolerate for the sake of their social image, for the sake of their children, etc. So women also go through a lot of such issues, which make them
Hmm.
more vulnerable to be stressed out and develop psychiatric problems like depression, anxiety, psychosis. etc.
Mm-hmm.
However, let me just tell you, because it's interesting, these days we are also seeing a lot of men coming to my clinic who have come to me with
Oh,
history of domestic violence and abuse, etc. And I think the gender bias and the gender disparity is gradually coming down. The hormonal and biological issues are
I'm
there.
really very sorry
However,
for
when it
the
comes to women,
connection
yeah,
problem.
we are back. We are back.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
So sometimes it will be wrong to say that all women socially are suffering and victims, because there are men
Mm-hmm.
also who have come to us with social issues. But usually men don't speak out openly, women speak out openly. But ultimately,
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about the social issues, Dristi, let's say that, with women getting more educated and women get, going for better employment opportunities, I think the gender bias and the gender disparity is gradually coming down. The hormonal factors, of course, it's there, but these days we need to remember that even men can suffer in our society, and they can also be, develop psychiatric problems like depression, anxiety, etc.
Yes.
However, when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to women, we have to remember the social and the hormonal and biological issues.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as you were saying, like, men also get into depression, anxiety, and there are lots of things, nowadays in our social life. So we'll come to Dr. Wali. I got a post of you in Facebook. You wrote about your past life and you compared your life with Sushant Singh Rajput. So what do you want to say about it? Can we have a little details about it? Exactly what happened?
Actually, he is dead. Sushant Singh is dead, but I'm alive. Maybe it's God's will.
Yes.
I was, I had a very tough life since 2003 when my wife was uh, sent. I must say, he got a job in London. See, when London, I was here alone in 2003 when I was
Mm-hmm.
working in a private hospital. There, I have gone through many instances, and one of the
Hmm.
suddenly one of the monster
Monsters. Okay, he calls her a
uh,
monster. Yeah.
came into my
Mm-hmm.
life and and made my life so horrible that's still today also I'm suffering from it. My
Yes.
my life has been dragged in such a way that in many instances I was planning to commit suicide, but I couldn't because of my ill mom and my home.
Mm-hmm.
Your
As I yes,
responsibilities.
I was having I had to support many person as
Back
eldest
in Goalpara, I think.
yeah eldest son. I'm the eldest son of my family, so
Oh.
I have to support them also. So for those things, I didn't commit suicide, and I have struggled myself throughout this last 17 years. This lady entered my life by means of manipulation, and I don't know because I was alone, so she took a
Mm-hmm.
big
Advantage.
big advantage because she was working in the
Oh.
same hospital as a receptionist. I never thought she will do those things. So one evening she came into my house and for money she needs some
Help, actually.
actually help. Then
Mm-hmm.
I just thought who is she? Then she introduced me that she was admitted in the same hospital for abortion. She was pregnant before, and she came to that hospital to abort. Then I said, I don't remember you. And somehow she said that she met me in the cabin, and she remembered me, and she applied for a job of a receptionist in downtown, and she got the job.
Mm.
I didn't see her before. I didn't remember
Actually,
also.
if I remember correctly, sorry to interrupt, she actually
Yeah, sure,
came
sure.
to downtown only for abortion.
Yeah,
And that's how she liked the hospital and she
yeah.
applied for a job as a
Maybe
receptionist. Yes,
that
that's
should be the
what.
thing. Actually,
Huh.
Oh,
they have seen the
Yes.
hospital and see.
Because she was a patient. She had
Yes,
come for medical termination of
yeah,
pregnancy. She was living in with someone. She got
yeah.
pregnant. She came to the hospital and she liked the hospital. That's how she applied. And you were
okay.
on duty doctor.
On duty
That's
doctor.
how
So
he had examined her.
so
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I forgot. So
yes.
so she told me that in that evening she told that her present boyfriend is to harass her. So and she needs some money. So
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I gave some. I think I forgot, and I told her okay then, and asked her to leave the house. Then I went to my inside my room. In the very next day, when I entered downtown, people were laughing at me and saying that, "Oh, you,
You got intimate with her.
yeah," they are saying that I get
Oh,
intimate with her. Everybody knows that she stayed that night with you. So I was so
uh-huh.
astonished that I feel so depressed. How can I convince them that I was not the guy? It was not like that.
Yes.
It was not like
Mm-hmm.
that. The thing was different. So
She
that
had
way,
just borrowed
yeah,
money and gone away, actually.
Rajesh put the board
Borrowed money and gone away.
and my wife came to know
Okay.
about this. She was staying in
London.
London, and she somebody told her
Somebody informed his
informed
wife.
that he slept with somebody like that. The things that never happened, and
Oh,
that way she entered my life that way, and she used to harass me like anything. Her after a few weeks, her father
Family.
and her
Family, actually.
family, her
Father,
father,
brother.
brother, and some few people, about 10 people, came into my house.
That was forcefully,
I
actually.
was staying near my private office, and they entered my house. They said that you did something to my girl, and some people used to asking those things, and we belong to some
Reputed family.
reputed family
Yes.
and a
And you will
small
mm-hmm.
have to
town,
marry her. Yeah.
small town
In a small town
uh,
called Tejpur.
stage four. So
Uh,
you have
Mm-hmm.
to marry her. So how can I marry her? I'm already a married person, and nothing that never happened. And you have been misled. So, but they didn't understand those things, and they forced me to do something about it, to think about it. And so I said, see, if you force me like this way, I will go to the police. And they
Oh,
leave
so
the
it was
house,
like
and
a trap kind of thing.
yeah, and they,
yes, in fact, interestingly, how I know about this is that I've been treating him since
Mm-hmm.
I think 2003
yeah, 2003,
onwards.
yeah.
He became a psychiatry patient.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm openly expressing this because I'm so proud of my husband that he said that he would have committed suicide long back had it not been for his
Mm-hmm.
aging mother or for the responsibilities that he had back home in Gwalpara,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because he was suicidal and he had attempted suicide thrice. During my course of treatment, he survived, and we are not ashamed of this because there shouldn't be any stigma about it. But
True.
the actual story is that he has outgrown things. He's become a stronger man, so that is more
Mm-hmm.
important. But what I want, why I interrupted was the 10 boys he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Those boys were kind of, they had introduced themselves as some terrorist from some terrorist organization. I wouldn't like to name it. So
Mm-hmm.
he was basically
They threatened
threatened,
me. They threatened
threatened
me.
that you'll be killed
You'll
if
be
you don't marry this girl. And he was a married man. I mean, he was married to a gynecologist then, and
Mm-hmm.
so and during that time he approached me for treatment. I was just a student, and he used to talk to me. That I'll come to later, how we met actually. So these people introduced themselves as being as having come from a terrorist organization. At that point of time, terrorism was rampant in Assam. That's important.
Yeah, in
Mm-hmm.
2003
Oh,
it was
Her brothers, her father, everyone came and they threatened you to marry or you'll be killed. So it was that kind of a situation, right? Yeah, carry on.
yeah, they told me that you should come to Tezpur once, and we should settle these
mm-hmm.
things. So I refused. Why should I go to Tezpur and settle this? This is a hopeless thing. Why should I go there? So
Mm-hmm.
I then repeatedly they used to call me that you have to come once. Huh? and somehow they convinced me to go to test school
Tejpur
and
once.
once and settle that matter. So I went with my
Actually, in between, they got friendly with you over phone. No?
yeah
That's how you got
yeah.
convinced. Yeah.
So
The
Oh.
father.
the father especially.
Hmm.
So I went
Mm-hmm.
with my sister
The
and my
threats decreased. The father cried, and he got very friendly with you over phone. Say, Baba, how are you? How are you? You know, we were wrong about you. You're not a bad man. But why don't you come over? Because our family wants to meet you and negotiate. You know, because there's a rumor that this girl was with you that night. So you need to come and clarify. That's what
yeah.
happened, right?
So
Yeah.
I took my elder sister with me and my brother-in-law, and I went there. And then, at that day, they they have
I lost you too.
yeah
Yeah, they
they've
surrounded you. A
surrounded
lot of people,
they
20, 30 people.
20, 30 people. They've surrounded me and they made me sign to some papers, and I did that to come out from that situation. And in after signing those things, they accompanied me
Back
to
to Guwahati.
back to Guwahati, and they straightway came to my house
Oh.
with everybody, with the father,
Father, mother,
mother,
two
brother,
brothers, and those guys, everyone.
everyone. They accompanied, and
This is real,
and
okay?
that
I mean,
evening
it sounds filmy,
and after two
but
or 3 days they
Yeah.
they throw one party also,
they threw a party,
party and
and they threw your mother out, not that
after
very night.
the very night
After the party,
the
yes.
very night they threw my mother out and my
His
and they
mother was beaten up.
and they and told
Mm-hmm.
them
Oh.
not to come again to my place. If they will come to my place, and there will be some bad thing will happen.
I'd just
So
like to add something. You know, this might sound
Yeah.
unbelievable, but it's Drishti, it's very
Mm-hmm.
important to know. Wali comes from a very humble background. His father passed away from Goalpara. So his father passed away when he was in class one. And they had seven children, if I'm not wrong. How many
yeah,
children? Seven children.
8 children.
Eight children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So his mother was unemployed. Now, the mother, how she managed to bring up these children is again, I mean, it's a very long story. But Wali was a brilliant student. So that's how he got scholarship after his father's death. And he went to Sainik School, Goalpara. So his education at Sainik School and his education following that, it was entirely it was through scholarship. None of his
Mm-hmm.
siblings have somehow been meritorious enough or lucky enough to actually get that kind of education. Okay, so his when his mother was thrown out, she is very, she studied up to which class, I'm not very sure, because she passed away in 2015, and
Mm-hmm.
she couldn't handle the situation. And these people used to live with you.
Right.
Yes,
They were
but and how I came to know about this is because he developed a disorder, Waliul, called anxiety disorder. I don't know if
So
I'm
please
audible
pardon
because
us. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Or you're audible
Yeah,
now.
so
Yeah.
it's very necessary for me to tell you this part because
Mm-hmm.
I know Waliul Islam, my husband, since 1995.
yeah
I joined MBBS
Oh.
in 1995 at Guwahati Medical College, and he had just passed out.
yeah. I
Okay,
was just passed
he had
out.
just passed out, and he was a very, very friendly senior, into cricket, into music, into singing, very popular. So all of us used to love him, girls and boys alike. And we used to
Mm-hmm.
watch those cricket matches, watch him sing, and I actually sang duets with him then
Yeah,
only. Since then,
we met.
I was a
Oh.
fresher, he was the
Yeah, we
senior.
Okay.
met in the stage.
We
Mm-hmm.
met, yeah, at the stage. We sang
Yeah.
together those days.
Yeah.
It must have been 1995, 96, 97.
97. Yeah.
So,
And
Mm-hmm.
I was
and
doing my
and
PG.
he was a wonderful senior. Trust me, he would teach you how to sing also. So it was like that. And soon after, of course, I mean, when he joined his PG, post graduation in surgery, we used to go for, we call it bedside clinics. Postgraduate students teach the undergraduate students about what the gallbladder looks like,
Oh.
how what is gallstone, etc. We have classes like
It's
that.
a bedside
Mm-hmm.
Bedside clinic,
clinic.
by the side of the patient
In
you
the evening,
stand in the
time.
evenings. So, I even got him as my teacher that way of surgery. So we learned surgery from him. And soon after, of course, yes, was there attraction then? There was. But the main hurdle was my father, who used to accompany me to college
All the time.
and stand there, bring me back home. I used to come from Guwahati
He
University.
never allowed her to stay in the hostel.
Oh, so
and
there was a connection like from college.
Yes, yes, since 1995. We used to like each other a lot,
Oh.
but we never got a chance to date because of my father, who was
Mm-hmm.
always there, in between. So, and my father told me very strictly that he's a Muslim, you're a Hindu, so nothing doing, you cannot talk. So, it
Oh.
was that kind of a thing. And everybody knew this father of mine who was always there throughout. So I used to stay in Guwahati University. That's how we could never date. We were always attracted, but for a relationship to develop on a, on
But
a,
often on we missed
we
the
were
stage.
singing,
Yeah.
yeah, we were singing very frequently, and while he was flirting with me also.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
with this guy, so you better behave yourself. So that's how my father was against this, because of the religion primarily, because I'm a Hindu, he's a Muslim, and my father somehow he thought that he was very conservative that way. I don't blame him, but he was how he was. He also passed away
Oh.
in 2015. And
Mm-hmm.
so Wali and I, though we loved each other, we could never marry at that point of time. And he married someone else, a doctor, senior doctor. And when she went to, I'm his second wife, so when she went to India,
So there's a connection
doctor,
problem
and I have
again.
been counseling him
Mm-hmm.
since 2003. I have been prescribing him medicines. He became a patient of generalized anxiety disorder with depression,
Oh.
and
Mm-hmm.
of course the love affair continued. Of course, it's unethical for a psychiatrist to love her client, but let me clarify here: he was not my client. He was my senior to start with, and we were in love even earlier. So,
Mm-hmm.
and finally, that's how it happened. But Wali, if you want to continue with your story, that's how I
Yeah.
know his story since 2003.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Like
what is very
related
sad
from
about his
before. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, what is very sad about his
Mm-hmm.
story is that when this lady did not enter his house alone, she was with her parents and
Brother.
her two younger brothers, and they had friends who used to come and stay over.
Yeah.
Now, Waliul's family was never allowed
Okay.
to come, and
Mm-hmm.
she actually, got hold of his credit cards, his debit cards,
Yes,
and
my bank
his
accounts, bank
bank
accounts,
accounts, everything.
everything,
He didn't
everything,
have a penny to
everything.
spend on his
Even my
mother.
even my mobile was seized.
His mobile phones were seized so that he couldn't
Oh.
seek help. He didn't have
Yeah.
a mobile phone for 3 years, till about 2006-7.
Right.
And these people, her brother used to accompany him to hospitals, and he used to be in the OT standing so that this guy cannot talk to anyone. And this has happened in reality.
The
Do
credit
you know
cards, the
why
debit
why
cards.
I'm talking about this so openly? Is because we
Mm-hmm.
have these matters are sub judice, cases are on, and this man was arrested a number of times.
Number of time.
Number of times he was
Yeah.
arrested. I have bailed him out. Okay, and there's nothing to hide. And people think women are really wonderful. It's not always the truth.
Mm-hmm.
She is not a
Very
woman.
true.
She's not a woman.
She's not a
Wali
woman.
says
Yeah.
she's a. I mean, she's
She's a combination of
combination of
man
a
and
man
woman
and a
because
woman
she
physically
daily
also.
saves.
She
She's
used to
Oh.
shave her mustache.
shave a mustache and she's having
She
uh,
has a mustache, and she has a lot of
beard
beard,
also.
and
Beard.
yeah, and she used to shave every day. That's what he was telling me. She was
Oh.
not a
Oh.
complete woman, and she looks like a
Mm-hmm.
man. If you see her, she looks like a man with short hair, and she wears
Okay.
jeans and all that. She's not the typical woman kind, also. But
Mm-hmm.
nevertheless, his bank account, everything was seized. The property which the only flat which he has had
Occupied.
was, they under duress, they got it signed. She possessed it, and even today, he was physically, you tell about the torture if you want to say by yourself, and
So
how you were thrown out of
did
the
not
house
you
in
take any
2012.
legal actions like Dr. Wali?
Yes, in
Yes,
2000, in 2012,
we are women. We are having lot of things
women power.
power. we
Mm-hmm.
can drag you to the police station
Court.
just now. There is a
Very true.
498A. If I put you there against on dowry,
Oh
you'll be
my
in the,
God.
you'll be behind the
Do you
jail.
know something, Nana? Since we are talking
Yes.
about women and depression today, it's so
Mm-hmm.
strange that this particular person, the woman, the lady, I mean, I'm calling her a lady, of course, because I don't have any
Mm-hmm.
other thing, any other name. She used to warn Wali about woman power in India. And she said
Actually, nowadays, there are lots of things going on. Like, the power of women are being misused at many times, we can say. So
the
sorry for the
connection, yeah,
inconvenience.
it's come
There
back.
is a network issue going on.
Yeah, we've come
So
back.
yeah, yeah, please.
You know what? I am a woman myself,
Mm-hmm.
and people say I'm a strong woman. I don't know why they say that. But, there is what I want to tell the viewers today is, are we audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So, what I want to tell our viewers today is there is this particular lady who is, who used to stay forcefully with Wali and who used to threaten him of women power in India. In fact, she filed
Mm-hmm.
cases against him. She went to police station so that he couldn't escape and told the police that he used to abuse her physically, emotionally. It was the other way around. And I mean, you might want to talk about the
Yeah,
sexual perversions
yes,
and all
yes.
that.
She was a totally pervert. In the daytime, she used to abuse me in front of everybody. At night, she used to come.
Oh,
She used to come to me and she used to,
Sexually abuse him.
sexually pervert. She's a big pervert.
okay.
Even
Now
she used
that's
to
a big
kick me
issue.
in some
Huh?
private parts.
She used to kick him. What she is saying is this important, Nana. She used to kick him in his private parts because he has injured private parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
People should know
So
that these
that's
things
a
she's
happen.
a
very, yeah,
she's a
obviously.
big pervert. She's a big
And
pervert.
and
Actually.
and in 2012, one night when he was beaten up very
Yeah,
badly, he had to run away because he had to save his
her
life. Her
brother,
brothers
her
and
family,
Life,
and
yeah.
her. See,
they beat him up black and blue.
black and blue. I have to run out from my house to save myself, and I stayed that night inside a hospital
2012.
in
So that's
2012. After
okay.
that, after that, I was afraid to go back to my house because I know that they will do the same. So I started staying in a rented
You
place.
should come to the frame. Yeah.
Yeah, people would not expect, a woman, doing such tortures and everything. Like, I am just shocked, by hearing this.
When I was staying in the rented place within 1 month.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She informed police that I have asked dowry for her. Against 498A,
There is a dowry case against him.
they arrested me. They arrested me and they took
Oh,
me into Nunmati Thana.
Nunmati Thana,
Nunmati
where he
Thana.
was kept in the lockup
In
for
the lockup for
that was Eid 2012, Eid ul Fitr.
mm-hmm.
the very next day was Eid. But
He couldn't go for his namaz, but they come with about 20, 30 people, with a magistrate, with
Mm-hmm.
lawyers, etc.
inside
And
the
inside
police
the
station,
cell, inside the
inside the
cell
police
of the police
station,
station, Nunmati
they
police
made
station.
me.
Oh,
If you don't sign this,
This case is on, Nana. It's sub judice again. We have filed, and she'll be arrested, hopefully,
oh.
for this.
and against and then
We hope so. The culprit always, gets punished. So yeah, we are having a connection problem again, but
Yeah, it's come back. It's come back. Yeah.
yeah, okay, yes.
I would like to clarify here, the document was
Mm-hmm.
never shown to him. He signed, but immediately next month, the police again came and told him that you have signed a
Mm-hmm.
document. He's supposed to pay 1 to 1.5 lakhs per month
per month.
to that lady and her family. And this amounts to
Oh,
extortion. The
that's
case
a
is
huge
on,
amount. Mm-hmm.
which is illegal.
With only
Mm-hmm.
her people, not
Your mobile phone was seized. He couldn't call up anyone,
my mobile
with
was
only 20 to 30 people from her side who did it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know something, Nana, we have not been able to see that agreement as to why he was paying time and again, because when he didn't pay, the police would come and arrest him. So finally, we got
paying.
hold of
Oh.
that agreement. Do you know how? Very tactfully. When I actually
Mm-hmm.
signed, when I actually filed a case in the court in 2017, if I'm not wrong, okay, because he was,
Mm-hmm.
18. 18.
Yeah,
He had gone bankrupt. This man is,
I
he has a
took
loan of 40 lakhs till now. He's
I
repaying
took three
personal
personal loans
loans.
to give them to pay them back.
Mm-hmm.
How much? Yeah, we've come back.
Yeah.
So this man, do you think, Naina, it is possible in reality for a doctor to pay 1.5 lakhs to anyone per month? That was happening. This is all on
Obviously, it's a
record that I
huge
say.
amount. Yeah, that's a huge amount.
Yeah. So he
Mm-hmm.
and he started abusing alcohol despite my counseling and all that. So he was totally, he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't cope with the situation. He got suicidal.
Once
Mm-hmm.
in 2016, to kill me
Oh.
through a truck. A truck
Yeah.
struck me with
Yeah,
the
a vehicle from
vehicle
behind.
behind.
And that FIR was lodged at Dispur police station. Anybody can go and check that. She has an attempt to
Mm-hmm.
murder case against her in 2013
Yeah,
when Wali
Oh.
had,
I was in ICU.
he was in ICU for 7 days unconscious in
Yes,
coma.
and I had a
Dispur
multiple
Polyclinic.
fracture on my left leg.
His left leg, he can't run even today. His left leg has a lot of steel rods inside, and
Mm-hmm.
everything is on record. And then
After
later, huh?
later after when I was in the prank,
Yeah, he
yes,
was
Mm-hmm.
having his pangs,
prank,
his
prank,
crutches,
prank.
his crutches.
Because at that time I couldn't pay that 1.5 lakh for 1 month.
Or yeah, 1 month.
1 month.
Mm-hmm.
So she made a complaint in this one,
Women's
the
commission.
women's commission. I have to walk like that only to the
He
women's
went on
commission.
his
Prank,
on his crutches to women's
women's
commission, and
commission.
do you know what the commission told him? Men are
What?
cruel. You have to pay that
I have to
1.5
pay. I have to
lakhs.
pay the 1.5 lakhs. So I went to Allahabad Bank,
He took personal loans
personal
to
loan,
pay her.
and
So
I
like
pay.
misusing of power to the upper level.
And do you know something? He couldn't work for 3 months, but he had to pay
Yes.
from his by taking loans. I got to actually, had I not
Mm-hmm.
married him, things couldn't have been sorted out. In 2018, finally, I decided to file a case on this. And when we filed a case, the court wanted to know, the judge wanted to know, honorable judge wanted to know what this agreement was all about. Then I said, we don't know because we have never seen the agreement. Okay. And then the
Mm-hmm.
judge actually asked her to submit the agreement. That's how she brings out the agreement
Agreement.
from her locker and shows it to us. And alas, my God, the judge calls this extortion. The cases are on.
Okay.
Hopefully, we will get justice
Mm-hmm.
very soon.
And since I was a married man, they
Yeah.
can
They hope for the best.
put
Yeah.
another marriage certificate to it.
Do you know
So
something? He was married to a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
as I told you, a gynecologist. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
prepared a
Mm-hmm.
fake certificate or something. But under the Special Marriage Act, you cannot be married twice. And the judge has told her
Mm-hmm.
repeatedly, don't call
Very true.
yourself the wife. But she has, and very intentionally been calling herself the wife, and
the social media
in the
and
social media
Mm-hmm.
and all that, and abusing us left and right, actually. So that is there. And in 2006, what
Yeah.
she did
Okay.
about the child.
and
In 2006, Naina, this is important. I thought I should share
Yes.
about the child.
Yeah.
in
Sure.
2006 what
She
happened?
trafficked a girl child,
She trafficked,
her family.
she and her family trafficked the
Oh.
girl child without having any this adoption
Adoption certificate.
certificates or birth certificate, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They brought her and they keep
Kept in your house.
keep in my house. So that way that
A fake
Okay. So there
certificate
are
was
lots of
created with you
pranks
as the name of the
going
father,
inside. Mm-hmm.
and a fake certificate was
Mm-hmm.
created with him as the father. And now that court is on in the High Court, and we have almost won it.
yeah.
That's a traffic child.
Oh.
Wali's genes don't
Okay.
match
So
with
that's.
her. Wali has not
Mm-hmm.
adopted her. She was trafficked. So it is just that, I mean, it's a very dark story. But the lighter part of it
Mm-hmm.
is that my father prevented us from getting married. Yes, then. But he comes back to me as my client, and
I came
because
to her
he
repeatedly to help
Uh-huh.
you
repeatedly.
out.
So that, and my father was not sitting in the
Okay.
consultation room. Okay, so that's how we got an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to talk to each other, and we fell in love. And we did see. My father couldn't have sat there, na, in between us when I was having I mean, he was having a
Yeah, yeah.
consultation with me. So there
Obviously.
is, that is the, silver lining of the cloud. And so that is
Mm-hmm.
it. But the best part of the story is that she's still abusing us in multiple ways. Matters are sub judice. Even
Oh.
today, this morning, we had gone to the police station for help.
Yeah.
Okay, we spent about 4 hours in the police station trying to
Today
explain
morning.
today itself.
Today itself.
And but
Oh.
the good news is that we have filed cases since 2018. I thought, because initially I tried to explain things to her, that
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why are you doing this, etc. But she has demanded 5 crores from us, which we can't pay her.
Oh.
5 crores, we have to sell ourselves, and why should we pay at all?
Why should we?
Why should we
Mm-hmm.
pay at all? So that's how when all attempts to make her see reason, or the family see
Mm-hmm.
reason, failed. And when we received repeated threats in 2017, that's
Mm-hmm.
how, we filed a few cases. We thought we'll fight legally. Yes, things are, because of the COVID situation, it took us some time because it has become lengthy. But
Mm-hmm.
all the cases are on, the cases that we have filed against her. One is the fraud certificate that she shows everywhere. The
Mm-hmm.
Agreement.
child's, the traffic child,
Traffic
because
child.
according to Kara, she
Mm-hmm.
is to be sent back to a
Yeah.
foster home. Okay,
Yes.
and the agreement inside the cell at Nunmati Thana, extortion, that
Extortion.
case.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
she has filed
social media.
social media, a defamation case against her. She has been abusing him like
Mm-hmm.
anything.
My house,
Oh.
my
His
car.
property, his car, everything is being taken away.
Okay. So we'll be getting them back again in some few time. So you can put up any questions for them. Okay. So Dr. Sangeeta and Dr. Wali. So as we were talking about mental illness, so I have a question for you. Like in Assam or wherever we go, like in this time, mental illness is still a taboo. So what do you want to say about it?
The stigma, the taboo associated with mental illness is something that we have to face. I don't know if I'm audible. Yes, we have come back
Yeah, yeah,
again.
you're audible. Yeah.
I am 12 and a half. I'm actually, after completing my MD, I have practiced for the last 13 years actively. And
Mm-hmm.
in the last 13 years, what I have seen is that there were times, Naina, it's very surprising when people used to ask me, do you see patients after 10 o'clock, 10 p.m.? Because we need to hide our faces when we go to your clinic. So people would call
Mm-hmm.
us mad. It was as bad as that. But today, people come to me in broad daylight. So things have improved. And
Hmm.
but the taboo and the stigma is such that, the lack of awareness is such that, though it's on the rise, awareness is building up. We are doing a lot of activities also. It is
Mm-hmm.
such that anybody who comes to a psychiatrist is called pagal or insane.
Hmm.
In that case, I have married
Yeah.
an insane man who's sitting next to me because Wali was also under my treatment for a long time, and it's lovely to be with this insane man. Okay, I mean, it's lovely to be with him. So on a lighter note, yes. So
Mm-hmm.
he has been visiting me for so many years now, and
Yes.
yeah, so what happens is that there are certain, a good there is a good news to share. Some of these celebrities have now come out about and talked about their own mental illness. One of them is Deepika
Mm-hmm.
Padukone, who's our brand ambassador of
Yes.
Indian Psychiatric Society. She
Mm-hmm.
talked about her depression, her treatment for 2 years, etc. Even other people, Anushka Sharma, also talked about her anxiety issues. So nowadays people have come out. Yet, I still get to see people who come to me and say that, ma'am, I want a divorce. Just give a certificate to me that she's insane. So somewhere,
Oh.
the stigma, the taboo, and the way people look at mental illnesses is so
Mm-hmm.
wrong. I think we need to build up more awareness. There are myths about mental illness.
Right.
They say that mental illness is caused by ghosts, caused because of sins, etc. And these
Mm-hmm.
things, the myths are also there, superstitions are there. There are a lot of people who come to us from rural areas who have already gone to faith healers, maybe for 1 year or two
Mm-hmm.
years, and then the disease
Yes.
has increased, worsened, and then they come to us. So there are lots of superstitions, myths, stigma, taboo, etc. It is improving, but yet we have a long way to go. I think we need to build awareness and create awareness among people
Yes. So you can put up any questions for them if you have.
But let's treat mental disorders as any other physical disorder. It's like having
Mm-hmm.
diabetes, having hypertension. It's people can be depressed, and a lot of people, because of the stigma, do not come out and talk about it. They go through severe depression, they become psychotic, and later commit suicide. This is so sad. It's
Mm-hmm.
so unfortunate. Let's change the picture.
Yes, very true. We hope for the best, to have a better society for everyone. Okay, so we'll come to Dr. Wally. So
That
a
he
couple
attempted
of
thrice.
yeah.
He had attempted thrice. His last attempt was such that he had to be
Mm-hmm.
put on a ventilator, and he survived. Today, this is a
Uh-huh.
man who will not attempt suicide anymore. He is there to fight legally and find
From the
justice,
soul.
get
Yes.
justice. Yes.
It's God's will.
It's God's
Obviously,
will.
we
God has
wish
been very
everyone
kind.
who yes. We wish everyone who thinks of suicide or something like this, comes out being a stronger person than before. Okay, so we'll like to ask Dr. Wali. So a few days before, a few weeks ago, I got a news that you operated a person who you did a surgery of a person who inserted a mobile charger, cord in a person's like bladder. So what do you want to say about it? How was it like? Okay, their network got a little shaken.
Now we can hear you.
Now we can hear you.
So for all the viewers of News Smooth Chat, okay, so we got you back. So I was asking, you did a surgery of a person who inserted a mobile charger cord, in his bladder. So what did exactly happen? And do you
Yeah.
get, this kind of cases very often or something?
No, no, it's very. It's a first in my entire career. It's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
He came to me as a. He said that he had ingested something. His headphone.
Mm-hmm.
He has ingested. I said, ingested. Okay, then
Oh.
I'll do an endoscopy and I'll bring it out. So I tried with the endoscopy. So there was nothing inside his stomach. So
Mm-hmm.
I did the X-ray. Then I found that some coil-like thing inside his abdomen. So I
Mm-hmm.
told him that you have ingested. Yes, he said that I have ingested. So I told him that the
Yes.
problem. Right?
Yes, we've come back. Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you're audible.
So after, but the pain day by day, the patient is having pain and that is increasing day by day.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought that the things which he had ingested is nothing coming out through his stool, or he's
Mm-hmm.
not vomiting out. In the endoscope, nothing was seen. So let's go for an operation. Let's see. We have to bring out this thing. So we took
Mm-hmm.
him to the
So it was like first you did not know what was exactly going
Your
on.
problem. Yes. Huh.
in the table,
Oh.
in the table, right inside the OT, we did another X-ray. Again, I found that it's
Mm-hmm.
still there inside his abdomen. So something went inside my mind. I had to check the urinary bladder. I checked the urinary bladder with my hand, so I found there is a cord. So I then bring the thing is that he lied. Actually, he lied. He would have been said straight away that things
Mm-hmm.
entered through my urethra. I would have said, okay, that's very
Urethra, I mean, viewers will not
uh,
understand. Through
through
his penis,
through his
actually.
penis actually.
Mm.
The
Okay.
the thing he has introduced through his penis. So that would have been the simple. I would have done a simple cystoscopy. I would have bring it out.
Mm-hmm.
There would be no. I would have avoided big operation. So it's a very strange thing that how this charging cable used to put
Mm-hmm.
this inside his penis. That's a big
Mm-hmm.
big thing.
Wali had
Okay,
given
so
me a
Dr.
reference to.
Sangeeta,
No,
yeah.
I'll just add this. Listen, Nena.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes,
Wali,
please.
after the surgery, referred the patient to
Mm-hmm.
me. Okay, this particular
Yeah,
patient. I
actually,
think you need to.
I was going to ask the
He must be having some psychiatric
same.
problem.
Yes.
Why is it?
How come such a big, cable when goes through his
Uh-huh.
urethra, penile urethra, through his penis, and goes into his urinary bladder, and he lies. Of course, he has lied to
Mm-hmm.
give while he gave the history that he has ingested. He was
Mm-hmm.
ashamed
Yeah.
to disclose
Mm-hmm.
what he had done. So what Wali did was he told me, I have done an interesting surgery. This is it. This is the history. But I have referred the
Mm-hmm.
patient to you. You better talk to the patient. And I go and meet the patient. Okay. He was a young
Uh-huh.
boy around 29 years. And later he told
Mm-hmm.
me he has been, that is a sexual perversion actually. So he finally, I had a
Mm-hmm.
long conversation and then a few sessions with this boy and
Yeah.
with this man, I would say he's 29 years
Mm-hmm.
of age. And then he told me with the cable he has tried for the first time, that is called urethral masturbation. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so masturbation can be done differently, but when he actually stimulates his urethra with a painful thing, when he does something as painful as this,
Mm-hmm.
he
Yeah.
gets a lot of sexual pleasure. So that's actually sexual masochism. When a person enjoys the pain sexually, that's called
Mm-hmm.
sexual masochism in psychiatry. So I asked him,
Oh.
and do you actually do it often? He said, no, for the first time, ma'am, I've used a cable, but I've used pencils and pens and all that earlier, but it never got into my bladder. I could somehow bring it out. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh my. I mean, for me
So
also,
do
it
you
was
think
something very new.
this is a mental illness or something?
It's a
Do you
sexual
think
perversion.
that it
Perversion.
is?
It's a perversion.
Oh.
It's a sexual perversion. It's called
Mm-hmm.
nowadays perversions in psychiatry are called paraphilias. Like
Mm-hmm.
some of the rapists, they give us a history of sexual sadism. So this is the opposite of sadism. This is called masochism, where a person
Okay.
inflicts pain on the victim and yeah. Apart from the
Yeah, we can hear.
perversion, yeah, apart from the perversion, he comes from a low socioeconomic background. He studied up to
Mm-hmm.
class 8, that is his educational background, unmarried. Okay, and apart from the perversion, I didn't find any depression or psychosis in this particular patient. However, I would
Mm-hmm.
like to add that a lot of psychotic patients indulge in such activities. Psychosis in terms of when
Okay.
people live in very unreal worlds, they imagine a lot, they have delusions,
Mm-hmm.
hallucinations, they lose reality contact. So they sometimes do such things. But for people who don't
Mm-hmm.
have psychosis like this man I'm talking about, it's very rare. Now, sexual perversion is on the rise again because of pornography, unmonitored
Oh.
pornography, which actually show sexual perversions, because these days everybody is on the internet. Some of them are
Mm-hmm.
gaming, some of them are watching pornographic videos, etc. And a
So
lot
it's
of
like
pornographic videos.
having a thin line related to this
Yes,
pornography.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Because I mean, that's a huge again, issue. I mean, to discuss. But
Mm-hmm.
this person gave me a history of very frequently masturbating while he watches pornographic videos, and most of the videos he talked about are not normal videos. It doesn't show normal sex. It shows
Mm-hmm.
very abnormal, perverted kind of sex. So he must have got motivated. He must have become curious to try it himself. And the most interesting part is that he succeeded in doing something as painful and as impossible as this, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And he promised me as he left the hospital, ma'am, I'm never going to do this again. I mean, I said this is life threatening. So that is it.
Oh. Okay. So we talked about all the diseases you people deal with, and also about the life you had in your past and everything. So I'll come little bit now to the present. So right now in social media platforms, there are lots of couples, and this trend is going on of couple goals. So you people are also in Facebook, YouTube, and other kinds of social media platforms. So do you think this life is exactly the same which people show in social media platforms?
Could you come again? I mean, I couldn't get your question well.
Yeah, so it was like what people show in social media platforms, the couples. So do you think their life is exactly the same what they show in social media platforms and in their real life if they compare it?
Yes and no. Yes, because there can be a few, there could be a few couples who actually live wonderful lives, not necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
materially. I'm not talking about the materialistic things, but maybe they love each other, they have affection for each other, they have mutual respect for
Mm-hmm.
each other. Wally may have something else to say, but I just came in. And
Mm-hmm.
there are couples who are my Facebook friends. If you talk about social media, Facebook is the most popular, and I mean Twitter
Yeah.
and Instagram and all that, those are not as popular as Facebook. So
Mm-hmm.
there are friends of mine, couples who sing well, and who I'm sure, because I, being a psychiatrist, would try to read beyond, I mean, as I read
Mm-hmm.
their posts and I see their pictures, etc. Yes, but when we show on social media, we, again, that's a tip of the iceberg. There could be even better things at home, because we can't show everything nice. Let's look at it
Yeah.
positively. But again, some people pretend to, because it depends on what are the intentions of these people who do it. Some people pretend to, some people, maybe they are suffering. I know families who have domestic violence at home, and yet on
Mm-hmm.
social media they upload pictures as if everything is hunky dory. So maybe they have a
Very
need
true.
to show that everything is fine at home. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is there. I have come across couples who show themselves to be very happily married, but maybe one of them is my client, and this person is my client because this person came to me with issues related to his own extramarital affair. So I have
Mm-hmm.
also come across people like that. So a lot of people are pretentious, a lot of people want to show. Basically, it depends on the intention of the individual. But for me, what happens, Naina, something very interesting happens to me when I
Mm-hmm.
do Facebook. When I come
Mm-hmm.
across, it's not that I go through everybody's profiles and all that, but a few profiles, attracts my attention, and for multiple reasons. Maybe there is this aura about them, or maybe their eyes look that, that innocence in their
Mm-hmm.
eyes, the purity
Yes.
of their looks, etc. So when I follow the posts, 3 or 4 posts, etc., you can definitely come to know certain things about the personality of this person or this couple. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
if someone is pretentious, trust me, if you properly observe, you can unmask, you can understand. So
Obviously, true.
some people do it deliberately, some people actually show their true lives also. So, but yeah, I mean, when we pose for a picture and we upload it on social media, we look much more pretty. We may not be as pretty like what we look on Facebook, but then we do a few things to beautify ourselves and to look
Mm.
better. But that's normal, isn't it? Everybody wants to look pretty.
Yeah, obviously, obviously. And you both look very good together. That's
Thank
really
you.
very
Thank
true.
Thank
you,
you so
Okay.
much.
thank you, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we'll come to this point. As you told, there are lots of things going on in social media and everything. So right now, there are people who, appreciate you people when you sing together, when you perform something together and upload it on social media, they will appreciate it. But some people are there who criticize it. They're like, they're showing off or some kind of that thing. So what do you want to like? How do you deal with such criticism?
Okay. Oh, maybe I'm too transparent. That's why he always says that you
Uh
speak,
huh.
you speak. Okay.
Yeah, you are more
So
clear now.
Okay.
yeah, I'm just an open book, Naina. I have never been pretentious in
Yeah.
life. I've been honest to a fault, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I am, because that way I have lived my life well. Okay. So
It's
and
always nice to be,
see,
open-minded and share things with people actually.
yes.
Inside out. Yeah.
Yes, very true.
Yes, and
So it got yeah. So
yeah, we are back.
yes,
What? So
yeah. So how do you
so
deal with such criticism?
yeah, self. See, I was not aware that there was criticism as such, but I have noted a
Mm-hmm.
particular phenomenon, if I may call it. There were people on social media who were really, really, they used to be, they used to appreciate
So please pardon us for
Yes, we
the
are
little
back.
bit of connection problem. Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
we are back. So
yes.
it is like this that I have observed a particular phenomenon that a few people whom we
Mm-hmm.
knew
Hmm.
Yes, we are back. So
Yeah.
in between, I just used to ask Wallium, so and so
Mm-hmm.
has disappeared from social media. So they've stopped commenting and complimenting, etc. So in fact, but then
Mm-hmm.
I never thought they were critical. But what is more important is that how do I, if I now I'm aware that perhaps some people criticize, some people say we are
Mm-hmm.
showing off. We
Mm-hmm.
if we are showing off, if we are showing off, we are if at all we are showing off, I don't believe we are showing off. We are if at all we are showing off, I don't believe we are showing off. We are just being natural and spontaneous. But if for the people who think we are showing off, I would like to ask them what exactly are we showing off? We are showing to people, to the world, that a man and a woman in marriage can be very, very blissed out and happy, which we are. Okay.
Very
So
true. Mm-hmm.
I think this is morally right, this is socially right, and this is legally right. Okay. So
Yes.
I don't see the wrong part in it. If we are
Mm-hmm.
showing off, which we are not, but then for those who believe in it, if we are
Mm-hmm.
showing off, what are we again showing? We are showing that how to bring up children, how children can be happy with parents, how they can be
Mm-hmm.
friendly parenting, and how children can learn music even when they are 1 year of age, or how children can help you cook and clean the house, etc. So I think that way we are actually showing something which the society needs, because I'll tell you, Nana, a lot of social media is about political debates, it's about communal
Yes.
opinions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hindu Muslim divisive kind of opinions and
Religious.
statements.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of social media is about very derogatory things, like I would say obscene things. I just saw a profile of someone yesterday which is very, very obscene. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
in a society like us, where marriages are crumbling down, divorce is on the rise, children are going astray, children are having conduct problems, instead of just talking about it in the clinic, it suddenly occurred
Mm-hmm.
to me now, isn't it a good idea to show that, well, this is not a Hindi film, glossy Bollywood film,
Mm-hmm.
this is reality.
Yeah.
I'm madly in love with Waliul,
Obviously.
and he repeatedly writes to me, I love you, I miss you. Even today he wrote me
Yeah.
three
Oh,
or
that's
four times
sweet.
from his clinic. So it
Uh-huh.
happens in reality. Trust me, it
So,
happens in
Mm-hmm.
reality.
mm,
Please add, Wali.
yeah,
I
yeah.
want you also to say.
What the people are saying is that
We are gone.
we're gone again.
Oh,
Okay.
No,
yes.
no, no,
What
no.
the
There's
people?
a
Oh,
video
no, that's
problem.
Yeah.
our video.
Yeah.
Is that it's a true thing. It's a true thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a it's good that it's good to be loved by wife or
Husband.
by husband, and helping each other in every way, in our
Mm-hmm.
works, in our house jobs, in cooking, in cleaning the house.
And you know, Wali,
Yeah.
he helps me everywhere. Okay, cooking, cleaning the house. Even the children help me. But do you know something?
Yeah, I saw
Till
one
uh,
video of
till
it.
some till some time back, Nana, Wali, you also know
Mm-hmm.
that, na? People used to say, how can you love your wife? How can you love your husband?
Right.
I found a girl somewhere, we have an extramarital affair. As if becoming a wife or
Oh.
a husband,
You can love.
you can't even love. You lose the ability to
Yeah.
love. Why? Why is that so?
So here we have with us Dr.
Yes.
Sangeeta Datta and Dr. Wali. Yes. Yes, Dr.
Yes, yes,
Sangeeta.
yes. Yes, tell Wali.
What I was
Yes,
saying that
please.
it's a
Wali.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing
Mm-hmm.
to share and
Share
Obviously.
and care.
share and care. And
Mm-hmm.
God has given us a voice to sing together.
Mm-hmm.
That's an addition actually.
Yes.
To enjoy and make people know about the real love which you have.
Again.
Yes.
So
And I mean, I have even posted. I just remembered this. I always tell my clients in my clinic,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you try to find happiness at home
and find love.
and find love?
Right.
Very
Why do
true.
you have to? Because the people who come to me with extramarital affairs, the children who
Mm-hmm.
come to me with conduct problems, with
Hmm.
they become rebellious, they become inattentive. I always tell them, why can't you actually cultivate love and nurture things at home? It's a different story when people are incompatible, and they can't
Mm-hmm.
tolerate, stand each other. That's a different story. For that also there is marriage counseling, and if marriage counseling fails, there
Mm-hmm.
is, there are legal options also. But I personally
Mm-hmm.
feel that people must not torture each other in a marriage or in a relationship,
Right.
abuse each other and make life hell. You can be in love, and trust me, I mean, marriage is the best thing that has happened to
Right.
me.
Yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
the best thing happened.
and
Actually, you should be inside out with your wife. But
yes.
what you are
That's the
doing, what you have done,
real person.
share it,
Mm-hmm.
share it, and I know she will also give the same thing to you, isn't it? You have to
And love
share.
is beautiful.
Love is
Trust
Okay.
me,
beautiful.
love is
Come on.
beautiful.
You
It's
should
so
share
wonderful
everything.
to.
Yeah. And
And
talk
so,
about it. Not indifferences. You should talk.
and
I
people.
don't like this. I don't like this.
Yes, I
Yeah.
often tell him I
Yeah.
don't like this, and
Yeah.
respects, and we discuss and we sort things
Obviously,
out.
Yeah.
communication. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, and when
Communication.
it comes to
Communication is a big
criticism,
factor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, when it comes to criticism, there is another saying I would like to share: beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder.
Mm-hmm.
There are positive minds who would appreciate and learn. I have learned from a lot of couples on Facebook too. Okay, so there are
Mm-hmm.
people who are critical by nature. They always they love to see the darker side of things. Okay, and there's
Yes.
no darkness between us, yet they would like to
Mm-hmm.
invent some darkness at all, if at all they can create something. So I
Mm-hmm.
think, again, if I may be very honest, I can't help but be honest. It also could actually result from jealousy, envy. It's about have and
Yes,
have
very
nots.
true.
I'm sure not a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people are, because I tell you, I pray to God every day, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe he's God sent. Wali is God sent, because I always call him an Allah ka banda, and I'm sure God has been very kind to us, and
You are my teacher.
I'm his teacher. Okay.
It's really very nice.
She's full of love. She is a very romantic person. I've
Uh-huh.
learned a lot of things
Yeah,
from her.
actually,
And
it's really very
and
nice. You both appreciating each
believe me,
other.
every day,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
yeah, believe me, each and every day I fall more and more. I
In
don't.
love with me. He's falling deeper in love with me. Oh, and then
Okay,
he
so
told me the other day he
huh.
was driving. Okay. So
Hmm.
because he's the guy, he doesn't allow a driver to drive me to work. He drives me, he
Mm-hmm.
drops me, he brings me back. This reminds me of my father those days, who was an obstacle, by the way. Okay, so
Okay.
Wali does everything for me. And he told
Mm-hmm.
me just day before yesterday, I mean, he calls me Sona. So, something, my attraction for you is growing. And I looked at him and I said, yeah, I can feel that. So it's like that.
Okay, so
Love is
as you
beautiful.
were
Marriage is beautiful.
obviously, so as you people are appreciating each other, so I just remembered one thing. Dr. Wali, you posted a Facebook status, a post
Yes.
regarding Dr. Sur Sangram or Sur Samrat. Sorry. So it was organized by Shan on national level, and you posted about it. Dr. Sangeeta, you were the winner on that show. So, how does it feel, having such a talented wife?
I feel really proud to be a husband of, and always I
Mm-hmm.
see something. But really, I like to help her in every way to bring out her talent. She's a very multi-talented person, and I'm very
Yes.
lucky to have her. Actually,
Oh, me too.
very multi-talented. So I tried my best to give her every support to bring her
Mm-hmm.
talent out. So now she's successful. Now she's the best singer in India
Mm-hmm.
among the anesthetists. Okay,
Among the
Doctors,
psychiatrists.
everything. Yes.
Yes.
psychiatrists, and
Oh.
that is given by Shan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really proud. I'm really proud, and wish her all success. May Allah bless us Bless
Thank you.
her every time.
Thanks.
And I'll be
Obviously.
always with her.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Obviously, wish her
That's
all the success. You really sing well, and everyone knows it. Everyone has seen it. So, along with that, I'll come to a question. Coming to your professional life and your personal life. How do you keep your hobby? You're both doctors, and your hobby is to sing. I guess you love singing. You both love singing. So, how do you cope up with your hobby and also with your professional life?
when you're in love, you will also love singing. Okay, I mean, it's
Hobby
like,
is energy.
okay, so why I said that, you may not sing on
Mm-hmm.
mic, but you will be a bathroom singer when you're in love, because you'll be humming something all the
Yeah,
time.
Gunguna.
Yeah, it's like,
Obviously, yeah.
I really tell you, I mean, what has made this possible is two things, I think, before Wally says. One is
Mm-hmm.
the fuel, that is love.
Yes.
Okay. Why
Mm-hmm.
have I told this is because it energizes you completely. And as a psychiatrist, I would like to tell you, when you're madly in love with someone, you have a substance in your brain which is called brain derived neurotropic factor, BDNF, which is in high
Mm-hmm.
amounts, and your endorphins get released every day. I think I have super high endorphins, and Wally too. Okay. So that keeps you
So
very energetic.
euphoric.
Mm-hmm.
Euphoric kind of a feeling is there all the time.
And
We are
Very
euphoric.
happy
and
kind of. Mm-hmm.
and when you perform a song in the
Yes.
social media in a good way, you feel more high because the
Yes.
hobby is working.
Yes.
And
One is a hobby. I love the fuel.
and
And apart from that, I
Mm-hmm.
think we have our priorities, like,
yeah,
right?
that's right.
So,
Oh.
Naina, very interestingly, we don't do many things in our life. We work, he operates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a psychiatrist, and we
Mm-hmm.
work, we take care of the home. We clean together, we cook together, we take care of the children together. Though there are
Children's
caregivers, we have congs.
Mm-hmm.
So we do everything together. He drops me, he brings me back. If he has to travel out of Guwahati, even if we have to come back at 3 for professional reasons, I accompany him each and every time. So
Mm-hmm.
we sleep together, we are up together. So this togetherness kind of a thing has helped us prioritize in life. So we don't do a lot of things. We don't do 10 things. We do maybe 4 or 5 things. So we have managed our time that way. And what we do basically is, when we wake up in the morning, what I need to do is, he always wants, tea to be prepared by me. So I make his bed
Mm-hmm.
tea. And after the tea, we always rehearse, we sing, and then we
Oh,
exercise.
and
So
we chat a lot.
we talk and talk and talk. We have so many things to talk about, and
I guess
about
that is
we
the
watch
main
films
thing,
together.
which, yeah, what I guess that is the main thing,
Chat.
communication in a relationship or in a marriage.
The last thing, yes, the last thing that we do
Mm-hmm.
before we fall asleep, because we are in bed much before we fall asleep, right? So maybe
Uh-huh.
we are watching
Yes.
TV, but the last thing we do is that we are talking to each other, and we fall asleep. That's what we do. You know what
Oh,
happened
that's
today? You know what
nice.
happened that day?
Yeah. You
Yes,
did this,
please.
you did
You did
this,
this, you
you
did
did
that.
this.
Have you seen this film? Let's watch this film together. Hey, let's try this duet together. It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk a lot. It is communication
Yeah.
is one. I mean, it's a foundation of a relationship. and
Obviously,
and he's
very
so
true.
sensitive. Wali is so sensitive, Naina. If I am, sometimes I don't pretend, but sometimes when I'm not smiling or laughing the way I usually do, he
Mm-hmm.
always asks me, to ki hoise, what is wrong? Something is disturbing you. I never have to tell him. He instead asks me. So he's sensitive.
He comes to
He
know about
watches
it.
me very closely.
Mm-hmm.
You want to add to it about the hobby? But the fuel is love.
Yeah, the full is
Trust
love
me.
and
And
our performance.
Yeah, very true. So we'll come to our performance. But before that, I'll take a few questions from the audience. So there's a comment called. He's saying you both look awesome together. It's from Abhidip Chaudhary. And along with that, he have also given a question: mental health or physical health, which comes first, according to you? Any one of you?
before Wali says, they go hand in hand,
Mm-hmm.
because the WHO definition of health is like this. Abhijit, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's his name.
Abhijit.
Health is a state of
Abhidip, yeah.
complete physical. Yeah, Abhijit, the WHO, World Health Organization, has defined health as this. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, social, and spiritual well being, and not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily the absence of any disease or infirmity. If you don't have a
Mm-hmm.
disease, it does not mean that you're healthy. To be healthy, you'll have to have that sense of well being. Why I said it goes hand in hand is because a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. And when you don't have
Very
a
true.
healthy body, you cannot feel happy. So both go hand in hand. What do you say?
Yes, sir. At first, mental thing comes that you have
Yes.
to have a good health, good body, good
The
diet. The
determination.
determination should come, and when the body responds, it's also
It adds to the,
yeah,
what the mind also thinks, na?
yeah, it refreshes the mind also that
Mm-hmm.
okay, my body is all right.
Obviously.
Yes.
It's a circle. It's a
It's,
circle.
yeah. And
Obviously,
Wally
having
have told
a
me long
yeah.
back that to exercise every day, it requires a lot of determination because,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I think both of them are connected, interconnected.
Interconnected, right.
Yes, so the next question
Yes.
comes from Jogala Gopal. So, what personally do you do to cope with stress in your life? Along with that, there's a comment from Sunumoni Borkotoki. You both complement each other and good wishes. Am I audible?
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
Thank you so much. That's
So you can put up your questions in the comment box. We're gonna end up the live in some time, but before that, you can put up the comments and any questions if you have for them, you can put it in there. So yeah, I was saying there's a question from Jogala Gopal. So what personally do you do to cope with stress in your life? So am I audible to you both? I guess the connection there's a problem again,
yes.
but yeah, you
Yes,
can.
we are back.
Yeah. Okay. So
Whenever stress comes, right? The stress.
mhm.
We are talking about stress.
Coping with
Yeah,
stress.
right. When
Hmm.
the stress comes, we are at home. So there are a lot of things to do to cope the stress. Number one is that to go to our babies,
To
our
go to our
children,
babies.
and
Okay.
just talk with them and
Mm-hmm.
just play with them. Your stress get reduced. Number
Yes.
two is that
So everyone can put up their comments and their questions
Yes.
in the comment
yeah,
box.
So
Yes.
Wally
Yeah.
has already said we go to our babies, we cook something special if we are stressed out,
Mm-hmm.
or we go to our music room and we sing, we learn something new.
yeah,
But I mean, if I may add to what he has said,
Mm-hmm.
not many things stress us out. Okay, we are not very frequently stressed. The only thing which is very unfortunate in our life is the current, the cases which are ongoing. And
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're audible.
it's
Yeah.
very relaxed.
yes, I personally feel,
Yes, we are there.
yes, we're there. So apart from I think, yeah, in the past
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to be stressed out, Nana, when we used to get an arrest warrant for Wally, or
Right.
when there was a new, the summon from the court.
Yeah. Obviously.
I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you're audible. So that is in the past.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Yeah. I
we
can hear
have
you.
sorted things out legally. But I feel extremely,
Mm-hmm.
extremely relaxed when Wali is around. He's my stress buster. And apart from that, like he said, our babies, whatever time we have, we spend with them.
Mm-hmm.
They sing with us, they play with us. and cooking, cleaning the house, keeping the house, and watching movies, singing, etc. We have never ever, he doesn't he doesn't drink, he doesn't use anything which is addictive. I don't use anything
Mm-hmm.
addictive. We are on a perennially, we are high, euphoric, perhaps love again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't bring our
Okay,
work to
so
our
And we
home.
don't bring
yeah,
work home. We don't bring work home.
actually, I think that's a very nice thing. Walking. You should always keep
Yes.
your work in your office itself, and professional and personal life always should be different. Okay, so there's one more question from Dr. Dulumani Das. As unsuccessful married life affect the mental health of their children to a marked
Yes.
extent, how will you advise parents, especially to understand the responsibility towards their children's society? Uh, can you get the
I
question?
think I have to, yes, I can hear the question. In fact, it's a
Yeah.
strange coincidence that I have just uploaded a video on the same topic this
Mm-hmm.
morning on Facebook. Okay, this is
Oh.
a strange
Mm-hmm.
coincidence. Children always suffer because of family dysfunction. They suffer
Mm-hmm.
physically and emotionally, and this affects their personalities. As because the personality is developing continuously,
Mm-hmm.
and later make them very very vulnerable to develop psychiatric ailments like depression, anxiety, addictive disorders, conduct problems, etc. So parents have to be very
Mm-hmm.
aware of the fact that children are watching them every moment. Children,
Mm-hmm.
parents have to be role models for their children. If you want your child not to lie, you must not lie in front of them. If you want your child to read more, you must be a role model and read more. If you want your child
Right.
not to get stuck on with Facebook, you yourself have to be a role model. But we see parents that they are busy doing social media, and they want their children to
Mm-hmm.
study. That is not going to happen. Okay, so apart from
Obviously. Mm-hmm.
that, in family dysfunctions, be a role model to your child, and talk to them like an individual, not as a child, because they're just
Mm-hmm.
human beings, miniature, mini creatures when they're very young. Apart from that,
Mm-hmm.
I think for children, building a very child friendly relationship and on mutual trust is very important. Instead of
Right.
monitoring them on
Mm-hmm.
apps. I hate
Mm-hmm.
it. Okay. Why not, have a friendly relationship since childhood, so that your child shares his
Mm-hmm.
deepest secrets with you, and you can also, have conversations every day. Again, communication.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
apart from that, if the family dysfunction amounts to serious issues like addiction problems in the family, or
Mm-hmm.
physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, or financial abuse, and there are regular fights at home, I think you should
Mm-hmm.
seek help from a relative or a friend who can help and solve your problems. If not, you should seek professional help from a counselor or a psychiatrist. And if everything fails, because sometimes, one of the partners are very incompatible. Sometimes one of the
Yes.
partners, maybe has an addiction problem of alcohol drinking,
Mm-hmm.
and beats up the wife, and the child is watching. In such
Mm-hmm.
instances, you must seek professional help too, in case everything fails. Please don't take me otherwise, but I'm being very honest, and I said
Mm-hmm.
this on a video today also, that it's better to part ways and give your child a healthy environment. A child
Mm-hmm.
always needs two parents and a happy home. But if two parents
Right.
can't be together because of incompatibility, or because of psychiatric disorders, or because of an addiction problem, domestic violence,
Mm-hmm.
etc., which despite all efforts they have not been able to sort out, then it's better that a
Mm-hmm.
child grows up with one parent in a more peaceful and
Mm-hmm.
healthy environment. Because when people say,
Right.
I'm very unhappily married, there's a lot of violence at home, but I'm staying back for the sake of my child, trust me, it will
Mm-hmm.
not work out, because your child will grow up to be an
Right.
individual
Yeah.
who has a lot of problems again, and you will have to spend the rest
Mm-hmm.
of your life trying to sort out those issues. What do you say?
Yes. Very
Yes.
correct.
And
Yeah. Very
everybody,
true.
we always want happy families, but sometimes when people can't be happy in a particular way, we will also have to be insightful to find other ways to be happy, and to keep our children happy.
Yes. I too believe that. Actually, first of all, having your child or your parent as a friend is what matters. To create a environment which is very comfortable, which is very happy for your child. I do believe in what you say. Okay, so as we come to our end, we will like to end up the live session with a beautiful performance from a cute, lovey-dovey couple. So, please, can we have a performance from you for the viewers of News Move Chat Rap?
You want a karaoke or you
Uh, can you repeat that again? Pardon, I did not hear you actually.
Yes.
you want a karaoke or
Any
you
of
Wally will play the guitar? Okay, guitar I think
it's
should.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, guitar should
Any
suffice.
of your favorite songs?
जब कोई
बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा, ओ हमनवा। न कोई है न कोई था जिंदगी में तुम्हारे सिवा, तुम देना साथ मेरा, ओ हमनवा। तुम देना साथ मेरा, ओ हमनवा। Wow.
Beautiful.
वो चांदनी जब तक रात देता है हर कोई साथ, तुम अगर अंधेरों में ना छोड़ना मेरा हाथ। वो चांदनी जब तक रात देता है हर कोई साथ, तुम अगर अंधेरों में ना छोड़ना मेरा हाथ। जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा, वो हमनवा। न कोई है न कोई था जिंदगी में तुम्हारे सिवा, तुम देना साथ मेरा, वो हमनवा। तुम देना साथ मेरा, वो हमनवा।
Thank
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
They were very lovely and perfect evening, perfect couple and perfect love. For me, a perfect interview and also a
Thank
perfect
you
Thank you
ending.
so
so much.
much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much for having us
It
on
was
your
very,
show.
yeah,
Thank you so
it was
much.
very lovely
And
having you.
it was lovely.
Yeah.
It was lovely. It was lovely to talk about love and life.
Love and life. It's
Mm-hmm.
very true.
And it's
Okay,
very
so
true.
our
It's
last
real.
word.
It's real.
She's
Yeah, obviously we can see that. So our last words for the viewers of News Move Chat Trap.
uh, all the best to the channel. Keep watching the channel and you'll get to see
Mm-hmm.
more of love and life and a lot more important things.
Yeah.
Life will improve, you'll feel positive. So keep watching, keep sharing, and keep liking.
Yeah.
All the best.
All the best.
Thank you so much. So, as Dr. Sanjukta and Dr. Wali told only, keep sharing, keep liking, and do follow us
Yeah,
also
Naina,
in
I'm Sangeeta.
Instagram. Yes.
Yeah. I'm Dr. Sangeeta.
Okay. I'm sorry. I I got tired. Okay. So we So thank you for being in our show. And also,
Yeah.
as Dr. Sangeeta and Dr. Walis already told, do like, share, comment, and also follow us in our Instagram and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. So we'll be back with the next guest next week. So till then, stay tuned to It News Move Chat Trap and have a nice evening. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks. Yeah.
Good night.